Ladies and gentlemen, live from the Rockabessa Hitchin Hearts, UK, in association with Bloodfire Studios and AJLR Media, welcome to the Big Debate Show. I'm your host, the Judge, and each and every Monday from the hour of 9 p.m. to 10 p.m., you, the viewers, will be able to have a debate with me. Now, once again, let me introduce to you my viewers, Anna on the show. How are you and how you feeling?
I'm very good, thank you. I'm ready to talk about this new topic that we have this week.
I know.
I have asked quite a lot of people for their opinion, so let's get on with it.
You're ready?
I'm ready for this.
And you promised me there's not going to be any violence tonight.
Are you wearing a bulletproof vest?
Well, you know what I done? You know what I done today? I checked underneath my car first. Now, to all my viewers, you must be wondering, why is the judge a bit on the nervous side? Well, I'll tell you why. Because tonight's debate is all about, are women too hard on men these days? That's tonight's debate. Are women too hard on men these days? Now, I'm going to tell you how to get involved in the show a little bit later. I must say I was in two minds because I had a few texts and I don't even want to tell you what they said, but I wanted to invest in a stab-proof vest and a bulletproof vest. But we're going to start the debate right now. Anna, women. We love women. Men love
women.
We,
okay.
Yes, and women love women too.
Okay.
But what I'll say to you is, because the reason why I brought this up, because men like to come to me. They like to tell me their problems.
Okay.
And what I find out that I honestly don't know if it's a case of they are a bit weak.
Who, the men?
The men, or the women are just too hard.
You need to, I think we'll maybe go back onto this because you need
Yes.
to give me some examples because I think we've already got a call.
We've already got, this is a world record.
I hope it's a female.
We've already got a call and the show has just started. Hello, welcome to the Big Debate Show.
Hi.
Hello, and what is your name, please?
Sorry?
What is your name, please?
It's Siobhan.
Siobhan, all right. I have to say this. You have broken the world record. You have.
Well, I'm all for supporting the cause, you see.
You definitely have. The show has just started, and you must have had it on speed dial. But let me hear what you've got to say on tonight's show. Are women too hard on men these days? What's your take?
I think it depends how you look at it, because I'm in between. I say yes and no, to be honest. It depends on what aspect you're looking at.
And could you go in a little more details? When you say yes...
But in the sense of, if you say women are too hard on men, do you mean in the sense of pressure or jealousy or housework?
Yeah, it's a... Tonight's show is open. So it all depends where you want to take it. Where do you want to take it? It's an open debate
I
tonight.
personally think women are too hard on men in certain aspects, depending on the woman that's dealing with that man.
Mm-hmm.
You mean that they're not stepping up?
Because in the sense of, if you've got a woman that's demanding where she doesn't like to work herself, then she's pushing the man out there to go and work and gain all the money, then yeah, the pressure's there. But then again, I don't think there's that much pressure because women are as strong as men these days.
Oh,
I agree.
That is a key point, yes. Women are very...
Yeah, women nowadays have to work as well as look after the children, as well as cook.
And not just that, it's a thing where pressure in the sense of jealousy and attraction, there's a lot of choice out there now. It's like you're going into the sweet shop, there's so many different brands of crisps and flavours. Nobody needs to settle anymore, so the pressure isn't necessarily there because the women can just choose
I guess some men need to be reined in because, they do consider it as a bit of a candy shop out there. So when the women are doing that to them, I don't necessarily think it's pressure. I just think they need to be taken a little bit control, because otherwise they might go off and do lots and lots of things.
You said a key.
Sorry?
You said a key point. You really said a key point. And women today are very independent. And there's a lot of men out there who they get nervous around strong women. You know, they want them back
Yeah,
home.
but that's because they don't like I said, women are just as strong as men. Women can go out there and earn the same wage, and men find that intimidating. Because like a woman like myself, not that I'm big-headed, but I'm very strong-headed.
I can tell that. I can see that. I can feel it. I can feel you're a strong woman.
You can't see me. You don't hear it.
You'll be surprised what I can see. Yeah, you're right. Yes, it's
but
true.
no, I just believe that, I'll do what I want. I'm not one of those women where if you try and make me jealous, I'm bothered, because I'll just be like, that's cool, because I'm going out with John later. So.
Ooh, you're one of those women. Okay, but
Yeah, because you need to, because the pressure's only there if you allow the pressure to be put there.
I do agree with some of your statements tonight, but can I say this to you? It's a pleasure that you phoned in. It's a pleasure.
Welcome.
I hope you carry on tuning in and watch the show. And once again, you broke the world record.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Brilliant.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. I'm just going to follow up on Siobhan's point.
Yeah.
I actually think that there are men out there that find that women are harder on them if the women are quite successful and independent.
Yes, success.
Without the relying on the guy, to do certain things.
That's a point. My viewers, if you've just tuned in to the Big Debate Show with the judge and Anna, are women too are women too hard on men these days? We had our first caller. She had a lot to say. But some of those points were spot on. What do you think, my viewers? Do you think women are too hard on men? Is there any men out there who've got something to say on tonight's show? Don't just watch it. Get involved. The number to call is 07818 361 551. It's on the screen. 07818 361 551. And don't forget, you can use the Facebook or the Twitter. You can text in the Big Debate Show. You know how it goes. Anna.
I want to go back to the guys that come to you with their problems.
Yes.
I want to hear the examples.
Well, I tell you this. I wish some of the guys could change their name tonight and just phone in the show. I wish they could put on a high voice so their women, because they seem a bit nervous. Their women won't know that it's
there.
It's A or it's B.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold the nose and make a phone call. But I will say this. Men feel under pressure.
With what though?
Well, one guy even said to me, "What's going on? We were doing well."
Okay, yeah.
We were doing well until the women started getting independent, until the women thought, we want to do some work too. And sometimes the roles have changed where the woman goes out to work and the man stays home looking after the kids. A man said to me, it all went wrong when they started working, when they forgot, can I say this in a nice way, their duties. We've got another caller. Hello, welcome to the Big Debate Show.
Oh.
1 second, can't hear you. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, welcome to the Big Debate Show. You must know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I've been watching since the first phone call.
Okay, and what's your name first? Sorry.
Lionheart.
Lionheart, nice to have you on the show again. What's your take? Are women too hard on men these days?
I think I'm going to break it down to a specific type of woman, and I feel like it's balanced. So I think that a broken woman, meaning that a woman who's been hurt in the past by previous relationships, are hard on men these days.
Okay. And can I say this to you? Is it because I've had a few guys come up to me, and do you think that there are men out there who feel nervous and threatened around stronger women? You know, they come across too strong, their personalities overwhelm them. What do you think? What's your take on that?
Well, in that context, I feel that if a man is intimidated by a female's powerful aspects or powerful attributes, that says a lot about the man. That doesn't feel that the actual man in question is threatened by her strength. It more means that he's threatened by the fact that he doesn't see himself overpowering her or being as powerful as a woman. So it says more about the man's insecurities to me in that instance.
Okay. Would you like to say something to?
No, I do agree, actually. I think where he spun it in the, if a woman has, because at first my thoughts were, men have it harder. How? But if a broken woman has, felt like taken advantage of, or has just had a bad experience in relationships, I think when she's looking for her next partnership, I think she will have higher expectations this time, I guess, and she will have, she will want things differently rather than being treated. So I guess the pressure's there on the men that she's looking for.
Okay, true.
So I do agree.
Thank you, Anna. Lionheart, what if a woman is not broken? What if a woman hasn't had a hard time with men?
But I think he just said that, didn't he?
Yeah.
That means the man is the weak. Like, the man can't step up to a woman just because she's successful and independent?
So a man's weak if he feels...
If he feels intimidated by the woman, yeah.
Any last comments, Lionheart, while you're on the line?
I didn't hear the last thing that
You need to...
Anna said.
Oh, sorry. I was basically saying that if a woman is, independent and, she's successful, and that a man feels pressurized by this or intimidated, my opinion is then he's weak. Because I don't think that he should, be intimidated by a successful woman if he chooses to be with her.
Lionheart?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, to be honest, I think that a lot of us men are looking for a woman we can respect and also look up to in some lights. So if for some reason that a man is looking up to a woman's attributes or qualities or qualifications or achievements, and again feels intimidated by it, then he really needs to look at himself rather than look at the person he's
I agree.
feel threatened by.
As Michael Jackson says, look in the mirror. The man in the mirror, Lionheart.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your comments.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. And have a good night and keep watching.
Have a great show, guys, man.
Thank you very
Thanks.
much. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, that's that. Can you believe it? We've had one woman and one man.
And I agree with, I agree with both. I think, like I said initially, the first when this topic came on, I thought, oh my God, men have it harder. How? But I get it from a different perspective. If a woman has been, a broken woman, and she's looking for a different kind of guy, then that makes sense. But then a guy feeling intimidated by a woman who is successful and independent, well, that's just silly. That's just wrong.
What do you think, my viewers? You must have heard what's going on. We've had 2 phone calls so far. The number to call is 07818 361 551. I had a few texts before I started, and women even said to me, why are you...
Yeah, why are you targeting women?
Because this is the big debate show, Anna. And it's not going to always be a smooth show. It's not always going to be what people
This one wants
expect.
war, this one wants fighting.
And that's why before I went in my car, I got the mirror, I looked underneath to make sure there's no booby traps. I got the vest. But we've got a text in, and I'd like Anna to read it, please.
Okay. Do, capital letters. Oh God, here we go. I feel women do put pressure on men, mainly traditional women who believe that men should work and support rather than adapting to a society where where a woman do have so much opportunities that they are able to provide and support and also work as a team to help build each other rather than expect.
And that's from?
It doesn't. They didn't
It doesn't say. Thank you for that text. Very true. I understand if a woman's had bad experiences. You know, she ain't had a smooth run, and she can be hard on men. But there's a lot of women out there who haven't had the bad experiences. Now, when we're talking about strength, yeah, Lionheart say, you know, a man has to look in the mirror at himself. But I say to myself, there's strength. I love a woman to be strong. But what about hard? You come from work, and you had a hard day at work.
Let's stop talking about this. I think we've got a call.
Okay, all right.
We'll go back to that in a minute, about his hard work.
Welcome to the Big Debate Show. What's your name, please? 1 second, sorry. Hello? Nope, can't hear you yet. Try again.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, that's better. Hello, Laura.
Hello, Laura. You
Welcome.
alright?
Yes, welcome to the show. What would you like to say on tonight's show?
I've got 2 points to make, based on what I heard you say earlier. Now, Lionheart obviously spoke about broken women and men having a harder time because the woman's broken. Okay, good point, but why are we talking about just women? Men get hurt as well, and in fact, men are the ones that act maybe a bit more harsher when they've been hurt. But to me, that's not a woman thing, that's a human being thing. People get hurt, they close off. So to me, men getting a hard time, what's that got to do with it? People get broken, people close off, okay? That's my first point. Second point, you mentioned about men saying that they're having a harder time, and when women were at home, I think you said things were easier?
Yes, I had a man, yes, I did have a man come up to me and says, we were doing well. Until the women went out to work and they started listening to songs like Independence and
Laura,
all those type of things.
Okay. This is what really gets me. I'm not even going to lie. This subject here is offensive, right? Because what your friend is saying is we women should still be oppressed. You know?
Well,
they're told to go. We had to stay in the house and do what we were told. You know, we didn't have a voice, we couldn't vote. But is your friend saying things were easier when women were oppressed? Let's take it to race.
well,
We should be talking about, you know, would things be better for white people if black people weren't able to open their mouth, if black people didn't have the same rights?
well, I'll
So
tell
do
you
you reckon
something.
that women are being penalised now for having a voice, Laura?
Thank you. We are human beings, and we're at the point now where we're becoming equal. We are human beings. That is our right. Yeah? So your friend saying it was easier when we were at home, we are able to do what we want to do now. We're able to live our life more fully. So anyone that wants to sit and say it was easier when women did what we were told they were, you know, what we told them to do, I find it offensive.
Well, this is what I'm going to say to you live on the show, yeah? I'm going to respect your opinion, just like I respected the man who came up to me and told me his opinion. Now, it seems like you seem a bit hot tonight, and I can understand that. That's why I looked underneath my car and I was considering buying a stab-proof vest. But the judge, the Big Debate Show is not just... This is what I love about the show, because this is what makes me want to do this show, is people phoning in, expressing passionately, just like yourself, what they think. And I'm going to say this to you, Laura.
Yeah.
Yeah? I'm not going to even tell you if I agree or disagree, but I respect your opinion. Yeah? And I want anyone else who is listening in, if they agree with what you're saying, but I understand, yes, times have moved on.
I'm going to agree with Lionheart right?
Yes.
It's about the individuals. If you cannot handle a strong woman who knows herself and who has a voice, go and find someone who's going to do what you want them to do or what you tell them to do. It's the same as a woman. You find someone who's your match, okay? But there's nothing wrong with women having a voice and expressing themselves.
I understand that. What
if you're not
about...
strong enough to handle that, that's cool.
What
So don't
about
put the rest of us down.
what about all the women out there who pick on their men? Yeah, I ain't talking about the strong ones now. Yeah. Oh yes, we all, some of us like a strong woman. What about the men that might not be as strong as other men, and they see their woman picking on them?
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Now
picking
these
on them, that's
guys,
order,
these
isn't it?
guys who've come to me, it seemed like their women have been picking on them. And I'm going to try my best to defend the men that have women picking on them.
Right. But I don't agree with that. That's different. I don't agree
I was
with a
gonna say
woman
that's-
picking on a
that's
man.
bullying.
Have respect.
That's
If you're
bullying.
with someone, love them and accept them for who they are. Big them up. Talk big about them. That's different. Because men pick on women too. This is a human being thing we're talking about. So respect your man.
Have you
To me, that's a different topic.
have you picked on a man before?
We've all picked on somebody. But
So you
I don't
have?
think that,
So you're phoning me up and telling me all these rights and what you this and that, and you've picked on a man before?
But what I mean is, if I had picked on someone and, you know...
Well, I've asked you, have you picked on a man?
I would apologise.
I've asked you, have you picked on a man, and you already said yes. You
No,
are
what
a
I
bully.
mean is, no one is perfect.
So you're a
None
bully
of us
then?
are perfect.
Are you a bully?
Stop twisting my words, man. No one is perfect. We've all done wrong. When I've done wrong, I'll put my hand up to it. That's what I'm trying to say. But I live by respecting my partner. I will show respect.
Well,
when I'm wrong, if I slip, I
well-
will apologise. I'm just saying I don't condone that type of behaviour.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to lie to you and say I'm perfect. But I've never, picked on a man. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
I'm just
well-
being real.
Thank you very much for your long conversation. You've had a lot of airtime, and as I said, I'm not going to disagree or agree. I'm going to respect your opinion. Thank you, Laura, and I hope you
Thank
carry
you.
on listening to the Big Debate Show,
Enjoy. See you later. Bye.
watching the Big Debate Show. Thank you.
I wanted to ask with your friend and where you've pointed out
Yes.
that obviously, see, that's abuse and that's bullying. That's not. I mean, why is he still there if he feels that he's getting picked on by his wife, lady, partner? Why is he still there?
Can I defend the weak men?
No, this is what I mean. Like, if a friend of mine, a female friend of mine, had come to me and said the same thing, I would say, well, you need to figure out how you're going to get out of this situation. You can't be unhappy with your partner. This isn't even about women being harder on men. In general, men and women, if you are in a situation that you are not happy with, why are you still there?
Why are you still there? We have another caller. They're coming in thick and fast. Hello, welcome to the Big Debate
We
Show.
don't even get to talk.
I know.
Yeah, I had to call back this lineup.
Oh my word, Lionel, I hope this is yes. Well, I respect that. You might have a fan there. This Laura, she agreed with what you were saying, but me being the judge, I had to say what's on my mind too. And
Yeah,
she
no, I totally understand.
and I picked a little something, and I asked her, "Have you picked on a man?" And she said yes, and I called her a bully, Lionheart. I called her a bully.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yes,
All
but
right.
but
Yeah,
you found
wait. In Laura's defense, when you say she picked on something, it could have been from school. It could have been.
no, it didn't seem like it was
No,
school
let's not
days.
assume- let's not
No,
assume
don't
this
you
is
dare
why I'm
defend
calling in.
Lionheart.
I feel.
Go on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I feel that. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? But rule out the potential man if he doesn't meet up to their standards, right? And women put men through certain tests to see if they are worthy of their time, their heart, and their relationship. Am I right by saying that, Anna?
I think so, but men do too
Right.
as well.
So based on, I'm just trying to understand it from the judge's perspective because it seems like he's trying to be a mediator right now.
Yeah.
So I feel that when you say are women hard on men nowadays, I think that women are hard on men by putting them through certain tests to see if they are worthy or not as a potential lover, husband, boyfriend.
But that's
spouse.
prior to being in a relationship. You're talking
But
about before.
it's an open debate, and Carry on, Lionheart.
sorry.
Carry on.
Right. So I believe that in that instance, that yes, women are hard on men because they put them through series of tests to see if they are worthy enough to meet the type of person that they want to be with. And through that, as a man, if I'm meeting someone, I don't have to be put through tests. Period. like me and that person communicating should be enough to establish whether or not I'm worthy or not in their eyes or my eyes to be with them.
Yes.
I shouldn't be put through tests because you want to see whether or not I'm easy to be broken or hard to be broken.
Yes, I do agree. But on the flip side of it, Lionheart, don't you put a woman through a certain test to see if she's what you are looking for too? Like, you know, has she got your kind of sense of humor? Has she got your kind of drive?
No, that's different. That's different. See,
that's
and
different.
I feel that men and women, correct me if I'm wrong again, but I feel that men and women operate on different mechanisms when they're in regards to testing a person that they're seeing.
Okay.
I think that men will test in terms of having criteria in their head already laid out, that if that was to happen in a certain experience, they would rule that off. Whereas women, they will actually think of, cool, I want to see if he's loyal. I want to see if he's faithful. And they will put certain things in place to see if that actually works.
Well, thank you.
Those tests.
Yes, well, I respect what you are saying, you know. And
Wait, do you agree, though? I want to know, do you agree?
I agree with most of the things you have said tonight. And
Go on, Judge. That's what I'm saying.
But I don't want my viewers to think.
All women do these tests.
I don't want my viewers to think I'm all about. Yes, I'm on the men's side because Laura, she came across a little bit heated, but I'm glad that you phoned up again. You know, and
no, I appreciate what she said. 100% appreciate what she said. And I'm loving the dialogue that is created today. But I just wanted to see it from a different perspective.
Thank you, and I'm glad that you do say there are women out there who are hard on men. Remember that. I'm glad. I hope everyone who's listening in that we're getting a really good debate tonight. Lionheart, you are the first man. You've broken a world record again. I'm getting 2 world records. You're the first person to phone in twice.
Nah, man. I had to. It was getting heated, man. It was getting heated. I had to join it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you again, Lionheart. Appreciate it.
No problem, man.
Thank you. Tests. Women don't all, not all women do tests. Like, we were just talking about it earlier, Judge. Like how people have expectations and, where people sort of make an assumption on somebody before meeting them, and I'm like, no, you have to take people on face value, and you judge them from then. I don't think there's tests. I think there's developing relationships and there's communicating with one another to find out each other's, wants and needs and future goals and that sort of thing.
But that's your opinion, and that's your woman. Lionheart is a man, so no matter what you're saying and what he's saying, he's going to think like a man, and you're going to think like a woman.
So you're saying, regardless then, a man will still think he's being tested?
Some men, I mean, we're not talking about dating tonight. We are talking about...
In the relationship, that's what I thought.
Are women hard on men? We've had a few good phone calls. If you've just tuned in, just remember, are women hard on men these days? The number to call is on the screen, 07818 361 551. It's half an hour, time is going quick, but
we got another call.
We have got another call. You know what? I'm glad about this topic. I am so glad. Hello, welcome to the show. Hello, welcome to the show. What is your name, please?
GQ, fine.
GQ, what would you like to say on tonight's debate?
First of all, so it's a great debate. And to be honest, when I first read the topic of the debate on social media, I thought it was a little bit general. But listening to the debate, it's quite a complex. It is a quite complex debate, and it's very, very multi-dimensional. But I'm listening to the debate, and it's just triggering thoughts for me in regards to the question. Yeah. So my feeling is, from my own experience, the question being, are women hard on men? That is, I think women need to be hard on their men, and I think women should be harder on their men.
Why is that?
Should be harder on men in general.
Why is that?
All right, for example, if you ask Barack Obama if Michelle's hard on him, he will say yes, thank God. Yeah. If you ask Martin Luther King, God rest his soul, if Coretta King was hard on him, he'd say yes, thank God. And if you ask Nelson Mandela if Winnie was hard on him, he'd say yes. Now, a hard woman will drive a hard man to fulfill his potential, you know. And if we go back to nature, for instance, a lioness, yeah, will always be hard on a lion, yeah. The lions are lazy, yeah.
True.
Lions are lazy, yeah. And the thing is this: a woman needs to be hard on the lioness will need to be hard on the lion because she needs to know that the lion will protect her and their children. She needs to, yeah. So it's no different for us as a species, really. So women should have, you know, a woman being hard on a man. Hard is a kind of a subjective word, but I think I interpret that as a woman should drive a man forward.
The strength of a woman.
Because you can't. There is no great man who wasn't propelled by a great woman.
Wow. You've said. Go on. Sorry, GQ.
Sorry, go ahead, Judge. Go ahead.
No, it's. I tell you something. You've put hairs on my back. You've definitely put hairs on my back because you look on the great men, and you look on their wives, and you automatically know their wives are strong. So.
Isn't there a saying?
Yes.
So every great successful man has a great woman behind him.
Yes, but I don't, you see, I'm not sexist. Stay on the line, GQ. I am not sexist. Why every great man behind? No. Right in line. Right in line, because as you said, you were talking about Obama and Michelle Obama. What a strong woman, you know, and she's been right there with him, not behind him. Sometimes, GQ, she's been in front. And let me say this. This is why I love doing this show. You are hitting some good points. Finish off, GQ.
Thank you. But, I mean, look, we've mentioned some great men. Equally, their story cannot be told without those great women. Those women were not easy women. Those women were hard because they were strong. Yeah, so if we interpret being hard for strong, we're not talking about women who are cruel on men, because that's another debate. Yeah, there are some women who are actually cruel to men because of their own experience. Yeah, it's like the same as it's like you have men who are misogyny. Yeah, some men who are deliberately cruel to women because of etc. etc. We're not talking about that. We're talking about women. In the context of a relationship, being hard on them, and because I need my woman, I need my wife to be hard on. I need her to be hard on me because I'm a lazy.
Yes.
Yeah?
But GQ.
I need that motivation.
Yes.
I need that motivation.
But I'm going to ask you, GQ, because so far you're hitting some good points. How do you feel? How do you feel when you've come home? Yeah. Tell me the truth. You sound like a very intelligent man. How do you feel that your woman is hard on you? You're trying to tell me you're happy when you've had a hard day's work, and when you come home, she's still hard on you?
It depends on what I'm saying. Is being hard doesn't mean being cruel. If being cruel and being out of order, then I will put a stop to that. Because I'm a lion.
Yes.
Well, but being hard on me is like pushing me to be better. Is not being. Is being hard, because sometimes you don't want to do it and you can't do it on your own.
Yeah, that's what he's saying is just cruelty. The cruelty doesn't need to be there.
GQ, I appreciate your phone call, and I'd like to say thank you for phoning in to the Big Debate Show.
Thanks for a great show.
Thank you. That was GQ Anna.
Right, I'm going to spin it. I'm going to spin
it.
So, there was this thing on Facebook. There was like on my timeline. So there was a woman, you know, who was getting shouted at. It was a scenario. So she was being shouted at by her man, and you know, even getting really quite physical. somebody intervened, they were like, oh my God, let go of her, let go of her. So they changed the scenario and they made the woman do that to the man. No one stepped in.
No one.
They just thought, they were like, and the man was being made of a mockery because they were laughing because it was almost like, he can't stand up to his woman. He's just getting hit. So I understand that sad, that point.
Sad.
But to me, that isn't a woman being hard on her man. That's bullying and that's abuse and that's cruelty.
And men, and a lot of men, look what you just said tonight. Men will look on men getting verbally abused by their woman and saying, this guy, I don't want to say the words, what I want to say, but this guy's a very soft guy. And they will laugh at him and they will make him feel like he's not worth nothing. Now, we've had some amazing phone calls tonight. You know, GQ, Lionheart, Laura, Siobhan, and it seems like we have a text. But before I read out that text, let me say this. This is why the judge is the judge. A lot of people were shooting me down. Why on earth should I bring up this topic? But this is the judge, and it's the big debate show. And I just had this feeling it's gonna stir things up. Let people get out their seat. Let people phone in. Let people get into the big debate show because that's what it's all about. We have another text. Let's see what's... Please, okay. It's a pleasure. You have a lovely voice.
Okay, here we go. I think you may be harder on your selection process choice than... Oh, it's to Lionheart. Sorry, I thought it's from Lionheart. Okay,
nice
this is to Lionheart. I think you may be harder on your selection process choice than most women. How do you respond to that? From Laura.
Oh, hold on. Wait a minute.
What?
Let me say this to you. This is not about two people. Yeah, it's not about Laura. I know that text you directed it to Lionheart, but I don't know if you know Lionheart. But it's not that type of show. Yeah? If you've got something to say, Laura, say it to the judge or Anna or phone in. But I'm not going to be here in the middle while you and Lionheart have their own debate. But I appreciate that text. And I would like to say to everyone so far, 35 minutes have gone.
It's on fire.
It's on fire. And everyone's saying, why am I talking? Why you are targeting women, this and that. It got me nervous.
I get it.
It got me nervous.
I kind of get the little twist, you know, because it just kind of generated a scenario in my head when I was talking about that. And yeah, I think there is that sort of, if men are finding it difficult in a relationship, it's not always easy for them to say or to do anything about it. For example, if it is abusive physically...
We're not talking about that.
Oh.
Let's get that one out the window. So we know that one. Okay. We're just talking hard women.
So when you come home from work, you would say, in general, I think when a man comes home from work and the woman is...
She's on him.
Yeah, on him like what though? On him like, wait... When the woman's asked her husband to do something and he hasn't done it, that on it or
no, that's
what then?
I mean, GQ, he phoned in and he says, you know, he wants a woman to be hard. You know, sometimes he's a bit lazy. That's a different thing. But if you've done everything and she's still on you,
yeah, but you need to give an example. On you like what? Just for the sake of it?
Yes, nagging. I mean, nagging. I know there's a lot of men out there.
So you step foot through the door, your woman's just cleaned your house. Okay?
No.
Just in general.
Okay.
And you've had a hard day's work, and she's gone, Judge, your shoes. You just stepped in, and you're like, oh, sorry. I'll take my shoes off.
I'll take my shoes off.
And then she's on again about something else. You know, I don't know. As an example.
What I mean is, everything you do is not enough. So no matter what you do, you can cut the garden, you can cook, you can iron the clothes, the list goes on, and she's still not satisfied.
So if she's not happy, then there's something wrong in the relationship.
It could be. Or is she too hard? Are women too hard on men these days? It's the big debate show with Anna. We've had a few phone calls, we've had a few texts. What do you think, my viewers? Are women too hard on men? Are you a man? Some men will say, well, you know what? All these men that are saying women are too hard, they're soft. Are they soft? Every man is different. We all can't be strong, bold men. Some of us may be quiet and soft. And the men that I've been speaking to, that's why I put it out there. I didn't say women are hard on men. You know, I'm saying, are women hard on men? And so far, we've had a few great phone calls and texts. Let me say this to you. Let me say this. Are you hard on men, Anna? Without going into details.
I think you know, from Laura's when she called, you find your match. You find the person. You develop a relationship with somebody that motivates you, that drives you, and the same for each other. You know, I believe in equality, so I work and look after, you know, my children, look after my house.
Yes.
You know, in my future partner could possibly do the same, or we create some form of balance. You know, if for example, if I had another baby with my future husband, you know, and he was working hard, I would make sure that I would say, okay, I would make sure the house is really tidy so that, you know, there's food on the table and just general balance, really, just
general
to make
balance.
it equal. That would be for me.
Yeah.
I think somebody else said it earlier. I think some people have very old traditional ways still.
Yes, and that's one of the guys who came up to me and says, it was okay back in the days when the women, I don't know if he was a bit sexist.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
You know,
say what he said. Say what he said.
He, you know, stayed at home, looked after the family, and the man went out to work. And all the trouble, all the headache started
when she got independent. Yeah,
and she went out to work. And I looked at him and I thought to myself,
it's not his match, is it?
No, I didn't agree with him, because those days, Laura did say, it's old fashioned, you know, that's back in the days. But there's a lot of men that want those days back.
No, but then they're going to have to find the woman that accepts that, you know.
Cook, clean.
There are women out there, like a lot of celebrities, who
family life,
marry the men with the money.
Yeah, with the money.
With the money.
Yes.
So, so they're financially supported, and all they have to do is make sure that they look good, become trophy wives, look good.
Yeah, but how do you feel about? How do the men feel when I talk about our women hard? You're the woman, and you're earning more than your partner, and you're the one who's going out, bringing in the money. I wonder if that is what a lot of men feel as
inadequate. They feel inadequate.
Yeah, they feel like they're not doing their duty. You know, they're not playing their part.
But there you go. It isn't to do with me then. It isn't to do with the other partner. It's to do with them. If you feel inadequate, it's because of you. It's not, you know, if we were partners and I was earning more money than you and you felt inadequate because I was earning more, how is that my problem?
Well, you have a good point there, Anna. What do you think, my viewers? You're listening to Anna, you're listening to the judge. It's the Big Debate Show. The number to call is on the screen, 07818 361 551. That's 07818 361 551. We're having a fantastic debate tonight. A man has to look into the mirror. And I constantly look into the mirror to make sure I look okay to get onto the show. But on a serious note, is it the weak men that are saying this? Is it the ones that can't defend themselves? Is it the ones that are more quiet and silent? You're saying you have to meet your match. Is there men out there who will not go with a woman that is stronger than themselves? I think it's a beautiful thing that you have a woman that is strong, that can hold her own. But I'm going to flip it. What about the ones who take advantage of their men? You know, the ones that, we're not talking about abuse, but they know they control the power. Don't mess with a woman. Don't mess with a woman.
Actually, a friend of mine did turn around and had said, you know, it's the women that control everything. They control the how the date goes, how the sexual activity goes. They basically control the parameters in all relationships.
Do they?
Well, this is what a male friend was saying. So
yes, I have to agree in certain sense. I mean, in a little bit, in a little way, because don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. Men out there, yeah? Everyone who's watching the show, they thought that I was going to be on the show shooting down the women. It's not going to be like that. I don't know if you thought that I was going to be shooting down the women tonight, but yes, the women do control a lot of things. You know, men think they're in control. Do women make men pretend, Anna? Do women let men think they're in control? Are women that deceiving? Are you fooling us?
No, I don't think women are. I mean, if there are games being played.
Not games, I'm talking real life. Do women...
No, what I'm saying is, if it's pretend, if people are pretending, that's a game, isn't it?
Okay.
You know, if you're not being your real self, by allowing a person to think they are in control when actually you're the one in control. I don't know. No, I don't think women deceiving. No.
You know what? It's the big debate show. I am enjoying myself.
However, if people are thinking that women have more power and control, I'm all for that. That's good.
In my eyes, the judge, women are the backbone. Yeah? Women are the backbone. And there is nothing, to me, more beautiful than a strong woman who can hold her own, but who doesn't abuse the power.
Yeah.
Yeah? Who doesn't abuse the power. And the reason why I brought up this topic tonight, because I had a few men who came up to me, you know, and they're telling me their problems throughout the weeks. And I thought to myself, are women too hard on men? But like some of the callers who phoned in, who said, look at all the most powerfulest men in the world, the most famous, the ones who've been our role models. Look at their women. They had to be strong. So does a man have to look in the mirror at himself? Can a man learn to be strong then? Instead of saying, women are too hard. I've had men come up to me and say they don't want a certain woman from a certain culture. I'm not going to call, a certain culture, because they're too hard. They're too strong. Does a man really... Is it about a man then? This has nothing to do with a woman? See how we're flipping it again? Is it about a man?
I think we all have our, choice. The choices that we choose of who we have in our lives. If they're saying that there are particular cultures that they don't like, then that's a like and dislike, isn't it, of things, and that's okay. You can have, your what do you call it?
Preferences?
That's the word, preferences. So that to me is just preferences, really.
But what I heard is, because of what he might have seen on TV or whatever, he's not going to go with a certain culture because they're too strong.
But that's just discriminating a race or a culture. But I mean, that's for them. That's fine. Each to their own, I say.
Yes.
But you are restricting yourself of trying to experience or find out for your own self. Don't go by watching or like, you know, where the majority of people say so. Go with what you experience. You know, if you have dated somebody that is from a particular background, particular culture, then you can truly turn around and say, you know what, I don't like their culture, or I definitely don't fit in that culture, so I'm not going to go there.
You're not going to go there. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, and thank you everyone so far who has watched the show and the ones who phoned in, and a few texts too. It's the Judge for the Big Debate Show. We have 10 minutes to go. The number to call. What do you think? Have I overstepped the mark tonight? Have I? The number to call 07818 361 551. Are women too hard on men these days?
I wanted to pick up on what GQ had said about, you know, he wanted his woman to, you know, push him, to drive him, because men can be lazy.
Yes, all men can be lazy, and I think if a man can take advantage, he's going to take advantage. Yeah, and that's the bottom line. All you men out there who are watching right now, if you can take advantage of the circumstances that you're in, I think you would. Tell me if I'm wrong. You know the number. And
so we're in agreement that men are lazy and that they will take advantage if an opportunity is given.
No. You're not going to get that so sweet. You're not going to get that so sweet. What I will agree with is that there are a lot of men out there who are weak. And there's a lot of men who only will find women they can control. But then I have to ask you, what type of men are they? If they only want the weak women, and are women too hard? They don't want the hard women, the strong women. They only want the weak ones.
I would say they're the weak men.
They're the weak. You know what? It's turning out to be a good debate. They're the weak ones. The men out there who...
Why would you choose to be with somebody that you could take advantage of and, you know, control? That's...
Anna, I will say this. I'm 100% sure there's men out there who take advantage of women. There's men out there that only deal with the ones they can control and the ones they can have them in their pocket.
I'm going to tell you
another story?
Yeah, well, not a story, but there are, I've heard that there are men out there that will choose not to go with good-looking girls.
Why?
Because of the problems that they get.
What kind of problems?
I guess the jealousies and obviously
the other men trying to
other men trying to, you know, take their ladies from them and things like that. They don't want that problem, so they'd rather go with somebody that's a little bit more, I guess, plain Jane. Plain Jane. Just from what I've heard and people have said. So, is that true?
Well,
do men find women that are, you know, let's say very, very attractive?
That's another debate, but I'm gonna go on.
Well, it's just a spin on the fact that there are men out there that will make certain choices to have relationships with people with those sort of parameters because they don't want that challenge, they don't want that problem.
I understand what you're saying, and I'm sure there is men out there, if they're with a attractive woman, they should know for a fact that that woman, when she puts on her dress and does her hair up, and she looks a certain way, she's gonna attract attention. But this is the key point. This is what I've always said. If you're with a woman that's attractive and looks good and knows how to deal with, you don't worry as a man. To me, that's a sign of weakness.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
That's another weak man, because in my eyes, I have a woman that is attractive and she goes out. I don't mind if men...
It's good for a compliment, isn't it? To compliment your woman.
It's no problem. I will stay there if a man wants to try and chat her up, because guess what, Anna? Who's taking her home? Who's putting her to bed? Who's making her coffee in the morning? Mwah. But yes, I understand. But that comes with that's how it is.
I'm just saying
Yes,
that because,
yes,
you
I
know, we were
understand.
talking about the men that make these choices to be able to control and take advantage of women. And I would put them in the same category. Because again, you choosing to be with somebody that you find is going to be too challenging is, you know...
But flip it on the other side. Don't forget, not just pretty women, handsome men. There's women out there who've got handsome men, and they might feel a little way because they know that their man is very charming. Women love a charming man, and he could go out and he's going to attract a certain percentage too. How do women feel about that? I'm not just going to get you coming on the show saying about pretty women. What about the handsome men? They have a say too.
Okay, they do have a say. They do have a say. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not. You know, I'm not the.
Both ways, Anna. We want both ways.
Okay. Well, it really depends. Like, if I'm with somebody, they're an attractive man, I trust him, right? Until I see difference. Until that trust seems like it's going to be broken.
Is it important to you? I know it's way off, but attraction, is it important to you?
That's a different topic, isn't it?
Yeah,
Where are we on this topic?
Well, you started
that's like next week, isn't it?
All right.
We shouldn't go
All
there.
right, well, we're not going there, but why you bring it up?
Oh, no,
why,
sorry.
Why do you bring up attraction? And now I
Because-
want to say my piece. That's another topic. The judge and Anna for the big debate show. We have 4 minutes left of the show. Can you believe it? This is what happens. 1 week is quiet. Next week, the phones just keep ringing. And I hope, my viewers, you've enjoyed tonight's show. And don't forget, even if you don't want to phone in tonight, you can leave a message on my Facebook account, which is The Big Debate Show. And I will read it. I might even respond. You know, and don't forget, all the shows are on YouTube.
What do you mean, Mike? He should respond. If someone is messaging you, respond, not Mike.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm glad you're on the show. As another strong woman. Come on, men. Yeah? Another strong woman. And I'm glad you're on the show. And yes, it's true. I will respond. We've had a excellent debate show tonight.
No, it was actually good. I've actually learned from today. Because obviously my first take on it was a bit... not aggressive, just a sort of like, why are you doing this?
Why is the
this
judge
topic?
doing? Yes.
But if you twisted it like, you know, like Lionheart did, and certain topics that you brought up.
Laura seemed very angry. I
see her
I don't know
point.
who she is, but she seemed very angry tonight.
I see her point though. I get where she was coming from. It was coming from a good place.
Yes.
I think
Okay.
she had very good valued points there.
All right. Well, I'm going to wind the show up. We have 2 minutes to go. But before I go, let me announce this again. On the 6th of June, that's a Saturday, right here at the Rockabessa nightclub in Hitchin, Church Gate, on the Market Square. You can't miss it. All the details are on my Facebook page. We're having a promotional party. And I would like to invite everybody who is tuning in, who's watching the show tonight, come down. We're going to have artists, we're going to have a live debate, and we're even going to have a raffle. And then after that, we're going to party the night away. So come on, join the judge and Anna, the 6th of June. It all starts 8 p.m. Rockabessa, Hitchin, beautiful place. Can I say this? It's been a pleasure.
No,
Anna?
it really has. It's been good.
It's been really good. And I'd like to thank you once again, Anna, for your comments. I like how you deal with me. You're a strong woman. Every man needs a strong woman. I'm married, not that way. Okay, now, to all my viewers, let me say this to you. I have to wind down the show, and this is how I'm going to do it. I'd like to thank AJLR Media and Bloodfire Studios once again. I would like to thank Anna, and I would like to thank everyone who took time out to watch the show, especially the ones who phoned in, thank you very much, and the ones who texted in. Don't forget the show is here every Monday, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. This is The Judge with Anna for the Big Debate Show. I'd like to wish you all a good evening, and my last words I always like to say, just remember, we all have a voice. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.